Episode 30 of the Utility Players Podcast 3-0. Messi's new number, Stephen Curry. What's up, Gravy? Fort. We're lost Ben for another week, but DBT to return hopefully next week. What's up, guys?
Yo.
What's
Michael
good?
Conforto episode. My guy just hit a home run.
Big win today, early in the day.
Yeah, we're 2-0 in our last two.
It's against the Marlins, so it's nothing serious.
Not sure
no,
we beat the Nationals.
Since we start every episode talking about the Mets, it was actually something funny this week with them. That whole Baez Lindor shit, bro. Fuck the fans, bro. It don't matter. They out there playing.
People are bored.
They got to be bored. They have to be bored.
It's laziness.
If you
what are we 140 games in? People are bored.
It's reporters got nothing to talk about. Players got nothing to say. Fans are bored. Yeah. Like, who gives a fuck what they're doing? The Yankees had a similar thing with that fan that was like giving them a thumbs down. That old guy when Todd Frazier was over there.
I remember that.
Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? And then the media just like trying to blow it up, making it something bigger than what it is.
Always.
Whatever.
I was glad they did the game. That, though.
Good.
No, I was glad that Baez did that shit. That shit was funny as hell. Well deserved. Yeah. I don't think they should have apologized. And also, I don't know if Steve Cohen should have said that he's thankful that they apologized. It's just.
I mean, they've been doing it for like 3-4 weeks, so I don't know why it's
brought up right
now.
for the first time. Yeah, I think nobody.
I didn't even know it was going on that long.
Because there's so many celebrations nowadays. Yeah, there's so many celebrations nowadays. I think it was the first time that somebody asked about it, or Baez, I think unsolicited, said what he said in the post game. I think he was just frustrated over the week. I went to the game, Citi Field. I think that's the second time I went. If I did go another time, it was the first or second year into that field. It's an amazing stadium, pretty easy to get to, obviously in New York City area. It felt I didn't know the thumbs thing. We'll call it Thumbsgate, if you would. But I didn't know that before that they were doing it. And if the energy of the stadium felt like that, a lot of frustration, a lot of like, I expect this to be a double play type vibe. So it was a cool game. I only played like $12 for my seat. I got pretty good seats last minute. It was raining, but nice new stadium. I love those going to, checking things off the bucket list.
Yeah, I love Citi Field, but it's I mean, I get it all around. Hey, we were expected to be a lot better. Injuries and other things have come into play that can't control. Regardless of the injuries, guys haven't performed, and they're getting paid a lot of money. So, whatever. It's just ridiculous. Who cares? I don't care. Like them doing a thumbs down did not affect my life in any way.
For sure, as a fan, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because if I was a player, I'd probably be doing the same shit.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Just trolling.
Yeah.
So now that we did our weekly segment of leading off with the Mets, I like that. It's like one of those. It's either you listen to it every week or you just skip right through. Either way, a lot of soccer news, some fun stuff. Obviously, Messi makes his debut. Ronaldo, we thought was going to Man City for yourself, Gravy and Ben, and I've been seeing this week Real Madrid going after Mbappe heavy. They've gave a second and third order. It looks offer, so it looks like they're gonna probably most likely get him. But in soccer, it always changes.
No, it's over.
Yeah,
the deadline was today.
That's unfortunate.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's completed now. So
yeah, let's get some soccer talk out of the way real quick.
Yeah, a lot of good moves. Like I just said, the deadline was today. I believe it is over now. So Mbappe, Sarri is not going to Real Madrid. They did get a nice young player. We'll see how he does over there. Not a lot of big moves. Griezmann went to Atletico Madrid on a loan offer with the option to buy permanently. Barca got a striker from he's from the Netherlands. I'm trying to think of anything else big time. None of the big clubs made any moves. Saul went to Chelsea. PSG got
I did see that.
PSG got somebody somebody like that. He's good. I believe he's a midfielder.
I I seen Griezmann. They were talking about going back to Atletico.
Yep. He went back from Barcelona alone, and then they have the option to buy for like a year or two.
Yeah.
So that was a terrible deal, and he's just not built for a big time club.
What's your vibe for it?
How's that going to affect the chemistry now at PSG? Since like it wasn't them trying to like get Mbappe out there. Mbappe wanted out after they got Messi. Like that's
soccer's weird.
It's business.
Yeah. I know
I think it's business.
But, yeah.
And especially with PSG, you have a bunch of guys that are mercenaries and left their other teams to go there. So
making a lot of money.
Right in. Yeah.
Yeah. Soccer's not like the NBA where it's like you got two superstars in it and you add one. Only in soccer that year or the year after, two of them could leave, and it's like, oh, I'm here by myself. It's like you only got a small window sometimes in soccer.
I don't know. I know he was saying that or something that he wanted to be like the main guy, but I feel like Messi is just going to take a step back in his career now. I don't feel like he even cares about being that main person. So I don't know. I don't watch.
They got a lot
soccer,
of guys over there.
But yeah,
luckily they play in
team.
Luckily they play in France, so all they need to do is show up and they'll probably win.
For sure, right? Like their bench, all their bench players could easily most likely win that league for sure. And then obviously Ronaldo going would be fun. Obviously English games are more accessible to watch for me and for most people in America because it's on NBC and they got different channels. And it'll be fun to watch him. You know, maybe this is his last act. I think moving 3 times in 3 years, I think this will be his last stop, and then hopefully he'll come to America and play for MLS. That's my hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope that happens too, because I mean, soccer's already coming up here in the past few years, and it doesn't even matter if they're just overseas, like kind of washed up players, we'll still take them.
Oh, doesn't matter at all.
Yeah,
I do believe it's jerseys. 3 and 4.
What is it?
I think he played 2 years at Juventus.
Okay, so 2 years, so 3. Wow, that's 3 and 3, 3 and 4. It's a lot, for sure. It definitely, that Juventus was in. And I know when he first went to, he had a good season last year, and then he scored a lot of goals quick when he went to Juventus. So we thought it'd keep going. Then it's kind of died down over the last year and a half. But
I'm interested
any
to see
news
how he
in
fits
soccer is
in
good.
At Man U.
Yeah, they got a lot of young players, right? Is that their vibe right now for the most part? Young team, up and coming.
They got a decent team though. They're not bad. So it's like, does he come in and slow things down, or I don't know. I'm interested to see.
Interesting dynamic.
I didn't know Man U was a publicly traded company until
they're owned by the same people that own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Glazer family.
Oh yeah,
I believe, or that might be Arsenal. Don't quote me on that.
I just assume all soccer teams are owned by like oil money or something, so I just don't even look into who owns them.
It's either one of those two that are. Damn, who is it? I don't know.
Well, let's get into probably the two main. They're both sport topics, but one of them you could question was ever a team, and then the other one you could question whether it was ever a real boxing match. We'll start off with, is it Logan Paul, right? Logan Paul?
No, it was Jake. Jake Paul.
I always do that. I'm always like, you know, when you put a USB in the outlet and you got a 50-50 chance getting it, and you always, that's how I am with Jake Paul and Logan Paul. I always confidently say one, and it's always the other.
It's the opposite.
We'll all safely assume that we bought the fight, we purchased it, we used a credit card. You know, we watched it on our own for sure.
Definitely stream that shit illegally.
You know, just in case, you know, Apple's monitoring this and wants to send a, you know, a copy of this. But what did you guys think about? Let's start off maybe with the fights before. There was a couple good ones, and then kind of leading into the whole spectacle of it all.
Go ahead for it.
So I walked into the bar like when the Montana was fighting. That fight was going on, and that was pretty good. And then the woman fight was good. Serrano and the Mexican girl. That was a good fight. They were going back and forth. I can't remember her name. Shorty was rocking some 6 rings.
Right.
That shit was
Somebody said in the chat, those are either Concords or they're Shaqs.
Fucking Team Jordans from TJ Maxx.
I was with Berto watching the fight, so he was cheering on his cousin. And then I mean the main event, I don't even know if we could call that shit just it was entertainment. That's all I gotta say about it. It was entertainment. It was a good fight, but it's all for money.
Yeah, I thought it was the best event that like of these recent events that they've been having with the made up fights or whatever the hell you want to call it.
And you're talking about not only the fight, the whole like
the pay-per-view as a whole.
During I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the fights were good. Tommy Fury was okay, but you can also tell that he's a beginner, and hopefully he starts to fight some better competition. That's Tyson Fury's little brother.
Okay, I thought I mean, obviously the name, I assumed it, but I was like, am I supposed to know this person? Is he a celebrity? Because I see the tweets about it, so I didn't know. Go ahead.
Yep. So he looked all right. Trying to think, Montana. Hey, there was one point I was like, if this guy gets knocked out, gonna have to be called gravy from now on. But that might have been the best fight of the night. They were throwing them. Ivan over there was hanging on for dear life. And I think any other person would have got knocked down 3 times, but he was still battling. That was a really good fight. I'm trying to think. Oh, the Italian, my guy.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Wow, just came in there and dominated. Yeah, fuck Cusimano.
I forgot. Did you tweet something?
Tony Soprano's neighbor.
I wasn't sure because I was going back and forth. Oh man, I live on Twitter when it comes to like celebrity boxing fights or whatever, because you get some good laughs, like immediate funny shit.
So he apparently he changed his name when he went over to Italy to Giuseppe.
That's amazing.
So he got absolutely dominated. You can tell they were in 2 different classes. And it was funny, after he lost, he's telling the guy, it's like, I need a picture with you and an autograph after this.
Oh my God.
Come on, bro. The girls' fight was good. Kind of got some things done around the house while that was going.
That was a fight to watch.
Yeah, it was. I watched the last round, the first round and the last round. And then the main event, I didn't think it was that bad. Definitely moments where Tyron probably could have dominated. He definitely had some windows.
This man, Jake Paul, was hanging on the ropes.
You know what? It was his first time boxing. So does he want to take that chance of jumping into something he's never done before in a area of the, squared circle? So I think maybe he just wasn't as comfortable as he thought. And it's different. You're training and you're prepping for this fight, but then you get in there and there's somebody standing across from you that could probably knock your ass out. I didn't think Jake looked bad. His cardio stood for the 8 rounds. You could definitely tell he was gassed.
Yeah, he looked gassed as hell.
But all in all, I didn't really have a problem with it. Obviously sick that Tyron didn't win. He does owe me $50.
Dude, that shit, I don't know how you only give him that little amount of rounds. Like, I was thinking, I'm like, yo, did I and the judges watch the same fight? Like, because I don't know, man. I get it. It's all for money, and they're probably going to run it back, even if Tyron doesn't get the tattoo. But I'm sure, of course he's running it back. That's his biggest payday. He just says that to say that.
But it's marketing at the end of the day. If you retire, people are going to put it out there. Then when you come back, people are going to, it's a genius, another genius idea by them.
As much as I wanted Woodley to win, if I'm Jake, I'm not running that back. Like, I beat you.
Why not? They're going to get paid again.
Because it's a big payday for Jake no matter who he fights.
Well, it depends on who the next guy would be. Like, if the next guy they feel like could gross, let's say, I'm just throwing out numbers, 50 mil, and the rematch, if the first fight only did 25, how much would a rematch do? So it's obviously all about
someone
money
else,
at the end
and
of the
then
day.
he'll fight Woodley again.
Yeah, there you go. Because if he
reports
loses,
said that they both made $2 million flat, and then plus pay-per-views. But that's obviously more money than Tyron would make in a UFC fight.
Yeah,
but
100%.
It doesn't, like, that shit with Tyron after, like, oh, let's fight again. Like, bro, you just lost.
Yeah, that's just for more.
Ain't nobody say win by 2. Get out of here. That's corny. Get out of here.
my overall assessment real quick is first of all, we did the poll on the fight and it came, I think it was right because I always look at the poll after the fight ends because people try to click the person that won just to skew the poll a little bit.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that, but
I do
it
that
was
all
like
the time.
80. Yeah, I do it too sometimes, especially the people I hate. It's like 88 to 12% Woodley. Overall, I think it's, we talked about this, 10 episodes ago. Is it good for boxing? Does it devalue? I think it devalues boxing only to stupid, ignorant people that want to judge these fights like you would a Canelo and another guy that's fought for 30, 20 years, let's say. But if you take it at face value, it's good for the sport of boxing because now I know 4 to 6 more boxers than I did before the pay-per-view. I did, however I watched that pay-per-view, I got eyeballs on it, whether I bought it, whether I know about it now. So if they're on ESPN or another Showtime event, I might want to watch the women's fight again, her fight somebody else, that Mexican that stayed tough. So I think for the sport of boxing, that's when I think I defended it, saying it might be good because he gets eyeballs on other boxes that won't get that amount ever. They're trending on Twitter. They're being talked about. And then I like you said, the Woodley about it's a new sport. There was a lot of times where he connected on a right and could have followed it up by a left, and he didn't. That's the difference between UFC getting to the guy. There was a lot of times he was getting too inside. Like you would UFC, naturally he's been doing it for 20 years. You get inside and you could, throw some elbows or something. In boxing, I think naturally he just went too much inside and he wasn't able to throw punches. So that's kind of my assessment about the fight. And overall, I thought it was good. I hope if they're going to continue to do this, which it seems like it's not going away, let's get some guys like this that know how to fight and are entertaining, because that's what boxing has always been. Fight. Muhammad Ali fought at the age of 40 something, fought a guy from Japan. So it's not, everybody's like, oh, that's ruining boxing. That didn't ruin boxing. Like if that didn't ruin boxing, this won't either.
Right. Yeah. It's only putting more eyes on the sport.
Yeah. People are paying. Hey, is there anything else? Little comments about, that night overall? I don't know if there's anything on the table. Obviously, Paul, if his brother comes and fights somebody else, because I thought he looked good against Mayweather. Whether Mayweather was trying to knock him out or not is irrelevant. He looked better than an influencer just playing boxer for a couple of weeks and getting in the ring. He actually, had preparation.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe Woodley fights Logan.
Could be.
Jake's really retired.
Yeah. What are you going to say for it?
I said they'll probably fight Supreme Patty or Dan Rue next.
No, please just don't. What? I didn't.
Did anybody watch that?
I was just going to ask you that. I was like, I see more promos for it than actual clips or promos after about it. It's like, why don't you guys promote it?
I did see Pac-Man lost.
Yes.
Yeah, he lost to
the
Cuban dude.
Oh yeah,
I think Robbie and Vito watch. I think Supreme Patty beat Dan Rue's ass.
Yeah, he beat him up. Yeah.
Come on,
bro. Like that's not even a fair fight. Like it was so ridiculous.
He's just dancing out of the way.
It's just so crazy because most of these. But I kind of look like him if I had the hat back, my other hat backwards. That'd be funny. It's so crazy to see most of these influencers because a lot of them are gimmicks and so like they're just clowns overall, and that's how they make their money. To see them get in a ring sweaty, looking like having the face on, it just looks so like it's a comedy sketch for sure.
I get that with Ocho Cinco because like granted he was like a professional athlete, but he's also like he's hilarious on Twitter and Instagram and all that.
Very lighthearted all the time.
Like very serious.
Yeah.
And like, like
Ocho's
in there.
A goat.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool.
But he could turn it on. It's like one of those guys that there's not many people that could be funny and lighthearted, like I said, but also like if he's talking, you're listening. He doesn't, his seriousness could turn on, but it doesn't wash away how funny he is, and the opposite goes away. That's why he's respected, I think, from sport fans and people that are entertained by him, because he's those things that he does on Twitter with the right in the bill and the tip. I love that. Always write something.
Yep.
And I'm sure people look at that bill and maybe they don't tip 18, 15, 20%. Hopefully they learn a lesson because don't be a bad tipper. I've learned a few
for
years
real.
back. You know what I mean?
Gotta have
People
that good
work
tip.
Pause. And then the other topic that happened, what was that yesterday? Trending on number one on Twitter in multiple group chats was a little high school out of Ohio called Bishop Sycamore. And they played on ESPN against what was that?
IMG.
Football?
IMG.
Yeah.
I think they're usually good in basketball, right?
Yeah.
IMG is good at everything.
Okay, good. They're one of those probably specialty schools. But what was the debacle?
Prep school.
Prep school. That's what I meant. What's your guys?
Bro,
they got to make a documentary, right? Come on.
I think it's a joke. Need that 30 for 30. It's a joke. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Shout out to ESPN for being clowns.
For real.
ESPN did not put up an Instagram post about it at all.
Yeah,
I looked at their
did they
Instagram.
not do any research and be like, "Yo, where's
it's
the school
incredible
coming from?" Like,
it really is
makes
incredible.
No sense. That I don't know. I think the funniest part is that the coach got a pending arrest warrant. Like they just had to throw that in there,
and he got fired after the game.
So because this is a topic that, most people, we do have women and women and people that don't listen or watch sports as much as we do or consume. Basically, there was a high school football game on ESPN. Somehow this team, Bishop Sycamore, made up that they were a school, got on ESPN.
They played a game before,
somehow.
2 days before.
They played a game too. I don't know. I don't know the details of it. And I can't wait for it to come out in a mini document. Somebody's going to want to do it, whether it's YouTube or somebody small, and that's going to get out. But they basically finagled and tricked their way onto ESPN to play on national TV. And they're not even a real thing.
They're like 20-year-olds. So like the dudes are in their 20s and shit. They're like former JUCO players.
The memes had me dead.
And they didn't even
must
score.
Have been ass because they got waxed.
They didn't even score, dog. Like,
what was it, 58-0?
Both games.
Like, dog, that's so bad. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if us and we got our boys together or whatnot, like 50 of us, we could probably score on some high school.
Get that man, get that golden hands, get Vito, tight end.
Bro, I don't understand that. They were sharing their mouthpieces and shit, bro.
Their logo looked legit.
Sharing helmets, sharing mouthpieces.
Oh my God. It's funny because was that an edit? Because I didn't see.
Gabby Cruz made their logo.
Yeah.
Which that's no joke. That's pretty good. Were they really giving off helmets to like the defense when they come off the field? Because I seen a picture. I didn't see if it was a video or not.
Yeah, they were sharing helmets.
Come on, that's too much. What did the head coach resign today or something?
Oh my
he got fired,
bro.
He got fired.
They don't exist. They don't exist. Who fires something? Who gets fired from something that's not a real?
That's how he got arrested. They found out where he was.
Oh my God!
I saw some videos.
Could there be any
videos
legal?
Of I don't know, like you're beating up high school children.
Like, what did you see, Gravy?
I saw a lot of slander on the timeline today. I saw Tom Brady and Randy Moss highlights, and they said it was Cam Newton and Kelvin Benjamin playing for that team.
That's funny as hell, bro. Dog, like I don't even know how you do that.
That's so wild.
It's just incredible. This world is fucking nuts.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like if somebody would have told you like, yo, ESPN is about to air a team and talk about it. And the commentary if you guys don't know, go on Twitter and look up Bishop Sycamore and there's commentary. And they're like, yeah, so they said they had like 5 top All-American players. We have not found the research.
Some dude
we haven't
got
found
hurt.
The research yet.
A dude got hurt, and they're like, we weren't given a number 54 on the roster sheet.
So they didn't know who the player was?
No, but he legit hurt himself.
Oh my goodness.
Dog.
That's wild. It's funny. If it was 2020, we'd be like, oh, only in 2020 can this happen? Nah, bro, This is life. Shit like this be happening all the time.
It just gets crazier and crazier every year.
Oh man,
We got California on fire. Fucking
shit. Still on fire. I don't think California fire ever go out.
No.
Hey, I don't know what you got on the list over there, but your boy's got a dip soon. So I'd like to get some football in.
Get it in. Let's go.
Football.
You can lead with a story. I'll see where you go with it. 'Cause I have some written down.
No, it was cut day. So you know, the 53-man rosters are coming into shape. Mac Jones obviously being named starting quarterback over Cam being released, maybe possibly going to play for Bishop Sycamore. I was talking to DJ Kuzma on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I could see Cam going to the Cowboys because that's just the most Cowboys thing. And
it is a very Cowboy move. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's a good fit actually because they have no backup quarterback. Cooper Rush is not cutting it for me. Sorry. And I don't know. I feel like Cam doesn't have the arm that Dak does, but they're both mobile. And you know, we hope he doesn't, but if Dak does get hurt again, I feel like Cam can step in and they don't need to tweak the offense that much. So we'll see about that. I don't know if we spoke about Jameis being the starter last episode in New Orleans.
I think we did.
Prayers to New Orleans, by the way.
Yeah, for real.
They just continue to get hit with hurricane after hurricane. Trubinsky taking over number 2 in Buffalo. He's the second most experienced quarterback in the AFC East. I don't know. We'll see. What did you have written down?
Had a football. I had obviously Pat's release camp, but you know, I figured we'd just get into it and then kind of feed off each other. I didn't have too much written about football, but obviously cut day. I got to catch up on Hard Knocks. What I was going to say that you made a good point was the Patriots and the Cowboys make similar moves like that. So for Cam to get signed by the Patriots was a Patriot move at the time, take a low risk, high reward type player. And then Cowboys love high maintenance players, whether they have a felony, whether they are suspended, they always seem to get a similar low risk, high reward, but they're high risk, high reward type pickups. But what about you for anything on the Miami Dolphins end? I know that's always
I know they cut some DN. No, Cam's not coming here. I keep hearing all these. I keep hearing all these Deshaun rumors and Tua not being in it. So I fucks with that. I'll take Deshaun. I was surprised at them cutting Cam. I don't know why they did that. I'm sure it was a mutual thing. Especially, I don't think Cam wants to come off the bench or be number 2. But I don't know where he can end up at. I really don't.
Wake up.
Yeah, he better wake up and smell the coffee. But I don't know. It'd be fun to see where he goes. I haven't really thought of places. Maybe fucking, I don't know, Green Bay or some shit.
Oh my god, this guy's just naming teams.
My man, I was just gonna say that felt like he just thought of the first team that came to his
I'm
head.
not surprised that he got cut. I'm sorry, you know.
You knew more than Adam Schefter.
And I love Cam. Yeah, right. I loved Cam. I used to have his jersey and all that. But fact of the matter is, just haven't played well the last few years, bud. So that sucks. I feel like I'm being a hard ass, but
he's been hurt.
You're just not a starter in the league right now. So maybe, you know, being a backup and taking a year to rest your shoulder, get things right, work on your mechanics could help you if you want to play, you know, further down the line. I don't know how much longer Cam wants to play. I mean, he's in his early 30s now.
Yeah.
So, you know, take on that mentorship role and see. But I could definitely see him in Dallas.
This is why, you know, NFL scouts, what was that, 20 years ago when, you know, Mike Vick, Donovan McNabb, you know, black quarterbacks came in the league. It was, you know, they were, you know, judged as run first, pass second. And then, you know, you've had your selective guys like I just named, and then you got hybrids that could do both. You got guys that are better one than the other. But that's the Lamar Jackson with all the hits that he takes, how in his rookie year, he didn't slide and getting hit all the time. And, wants to get those extra yardage. Cam was never really a runner, in my opinion, as far as a run first. He was more of a hybrid, I would think. He never had a great arm. I'm not saying that, but he, he's a big guy and he could take hits. So, when he ran, you would.
Cam's
like,
same thing with Big Ben.
Big Ben too.
But Cam was in the trenches, taking those hits, pushing those, that's a fullback playing running back right there. So, but I don't think
and Ben's had a probably better O-line his whole career than.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So there you go.
Cam took a team to the Super Bowl, so we got to give
15-1 too.
Yeah, let's not forget about that. Yeah, let's not forget that season they were dominant. People feared to play them for a couple to a few years without they weren't scary, but just him being on that team, they had a great defense as well, but just him being a playmaker. Because who was the weapons on that team?
Steve Smith, Greg Olsen,
Andrew
Williams, Jonathan Stewart.
So nothing too scary, but enough where Cam does his if he's elite.
Steve Smith and Greg Olsen are legends. I'll take those two on my team any day.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is when you think of a team being dominating for a season or two, and it was him and then the rest of the team, obviously.
And their defense kept them in games too. They had very good defense. Yes. Thomas Davis and those guys.
The linebacker,
Yep, and Luke Kuechly. But
Kuechly.
In a sad way, it's like, hey, the league's always changing, so it's like you got to adapt, or game might just push you out.
Yep.
And and it's unfortunate, but I think that's just the way of life.
Y'all don't want him in New York?
No, I'm good on that.
No, we need Daniel Jones to be the guy, not look over his shoulder. This needs to be protect Daniel Jones at all times. Now 17 games. We need his head on straight every game, and because if he fails, then we could maybe move on. But I think he'll be fine with the weapons that we added to our offense, and our line has improved. So the Giants, if anybody's listening. So what time is it? Okay. Yeah, just in case, you don't want to assume that who we're talking about, you gotta feed the audience.
I will, if it makes everything smooth, I will dip out now. I just want everybody to know that the top 5 will return when
top
Beat
5?
Wonder returns.
Yes. Any shout outs before you go?
Shout out to Beat Wonder. Shout out to Beat Wonder. I got to go by the house yesterday. See the baby.
Nice.
She's beautiful. Got to hold her for a little bit. I always hate holding babies when they're like that small. Like you need to be like maybe 2 months. But I got big hands, so
yeah. What do you do
luckily
with this
I got
thing?
A big belly. She just sat right on top of the belly. It was great.
It's like somebody gives you the bag of eggs to hold in the supermarket. You're like, just don't know what to do. Like you'll do anything and they're all just gonna fall out. That's how I feel with a baby. It's like no matter what I do, it's wrong.
Yeah. It's an awkward confidence in holding a baby.
That's hilarious.
So
we'll all have to do it someday, hopefully.
All right, world. Hey, you two hold it down.
All right.
Gang.
And holla at your boy after.
All right, man.
If I didn't talk about you this episode, fuck off.
Peace. Nope. Oh, a little chubby gravy. Oh.
Rare Montana.
Rare. All right, brother. So for the people who are watching, Gravy had to dip for some responsibilities. Obviously, B Wonder's not on the episode this week. Hopefully get him back next week. So right now, just myself and Fort. We could transition it. We could transition and bet the Fort, and then we could just chop it up because for the most part, we went over the sport topics that we wanted to talk about, and I got a lot of trending topics that I have on my end. I'm sure you'll put it in the mix. So bet the Fort. Let them know what you did last week, what your picks are this week, and explain them a little bit. Let's get it.
Gotcha. So last week, 2-2, I guess, 2 wins, and we had three soccer games, and 2 of them were draws. So not sure how we're going to score those. If you did bet on that in soccer, you took a L probably because it has to be in the first 90 minutes. I found out that hard way. So take note.
That was
Make sure
funny.
you remember that. Yeah, the Inter Miami and Orlando FC that ended in a draw. Man City, Arsenal. Man City got the dub. Liverpool, Chelsea ended in a draw, and then Blue Jays and Tigers. Blue Jays got the dub. This week we got 3 baseball and we got 1 UFC. We're doing the main event. I'm taking Till over Brunson. I spoke with our UFC expert that we have, and
Plug him.
yeah, for real, our UFC expert, my personal trainer, my barber. Pretty much he was saying that Brunson doesn't do well against strikers that have takedown defense, and he looked good against Kevin Holland. So pretty much just what he was saying, he's going to take Brunson down and kind of just hold him down there and cuddle his way to victory. So I'm excited for that. That's a good fight. Definitely tune in. And then baseball, we are taking the A's over the Blue Jays, Dodgers over Giants. That's a big series, first place out there.
Yeah.
Both those teams are playing great ball, but I mean, I think it'll come down to the rubber match, like we've been saying the past 3-4 episodes. Because I mean, I feel like it's the Giants have been they're a good team. We knew they were going to be good, but they're definitely exceeding expectations. But I think it's just time for the Dodgers to man up and play good baseball. And then I'm taking Astros over the Padres. Padres have kind of fell off. They had their injuries, shit like that. So I don't really need to be betting too much because I got my NFTs booming. So I'm chilling.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of tweets on your end. What was the Twitter that you made? Maybe there's some listeners that are getting into the game.
I had to make a separate NFT Twitter because I was retweeting too much shit.
Yeah, sometimes it gets too
yeah, dude. I knew it myself. I was like, yeah, this is way too much for like everyone that's following me. People are gonna be like, yo,
I thought about doing that for like. I thought about doing like a sports one and a wrestling one. I probably should because there's so much of that I follow and want to interact with. I think I'm going to do that after because there's times where you want to interact to a point where you don't also want to get annoying to the people that follow you, right? Because then your feed is just whatever. And obviously there's ways they could adjust it with like comments and likes, but I want to show love to some ideas that I see out there. And I think I'm going to do that after.
Yeah. So I had to do that just for my own sake. And I know everyone was getting tired of that shit, but I haven't really even been on my personal Twitter that often. And I don't use my phone anymore that much. I've been using my MacBook a lot, kind of just rocking 2 computers during the day.
Got you.
I don't know.
And do you text on the computer as well?
Yeah. If I have it in front of me, if I'm using it, I'll text on it. It's that much easier. But yeah, I haven't really been betting much, to be honest with you. I guess I've been betting on like artwork and shit, but
yeah,
I'm still in tune with everything that's going on. I want to kind of get back into it, but I just haven't had that itch.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't have your money in everything and be able to put the time, energy, and focus into each thing. So it's probably best that if you're focused on one thing, don't try to double dip and triple dip and just do it for the sake. Because
that's when you mess up. That's when you get greedy.
Right. Too many hands in the basket. So now that we're on the topic after Bet the Fort, any NFT news, anything out there? Obviously it's you always talk about it in group chats and sometimes it's not understood fully, which is fine. That's how you're on to something, where people at one point talked about the internet and computers and phones and all that, and we're like, what? You can't everything's technology when it's first talked about. People are confused. They don't want to get it. They don't want to think about it. But then they're texting you and calling you and wanting to hang out a year or 2 later, and it's too late. So talk to, you got, now that it's just me and you, we could just rock with whatever we want to talk about.
I feel like the whole concept of it is nuts. Like when I try to explain it to people, like I know what I'm saying and the things that are coming out of my mouth is just like, yo, am I really saying this shit? Like it doesn't make sense to me. And like, I'm up till 3-4 in the morning sometimes, like on this shit. Dude, there's so many different projects coming out. Like I feel like it is a bubble, man. Like just like everything, like, it's booming right now and everything, but there's gonna come a point where it's just gonna level out and not be as freaking astronomical as it is right now. Just like with anything else, like you can only get so high before that shit starts coming back down. But dude, there's some money to be made. Like people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. People are making thousands of dollars a day. Like this shit is ridiculous, you know? So, but I mean, you kind of really do have to be careful with like the projects that you're putting your money into and kind of know what you're doing before you even get into NFTs, because you want to know about like the blockchain and what currency you're purchasing on, because you're not purchasing this shit in dollars. You're buying this shit with crypto. So kind of want to know how that crypto works before getting into something else. But also I feel like it's an easier way to make crypto because how crazy you can make off a few $100. And also I feel like more people get into it because it's something you can see. You know, it's a piece of art. It's something that you like more people buy something that they like instead of something that's rare or considered rare or whatever. So instead of just like looking at the arrows go up and down on a chart all day, like you can hold this piece of art and you invested your money in it just like you would invest it in some crypto, and it's something you could show people instead of like, yo, look at this, look at these candlesticks, or look at this graph, you know. So that's the cool thing about it. And like, I mean, I've always liked art, but I don't like hanging stuff on my walls or anything like that unless it's like old school posters or some shit like that. But I'm real into digital shit, like just because of my former jobs and shit like that. So I think like if you find the right projects and you find like the right things, like there's some money to be made, but most of the time you just get so attached to this shit that you don't want to sell it, and you're just like, fuck, you know. So that's why I had to make another Twitter for it.
See, that's why, and you're 100% right. When you're sometimes, I don't know exactly if you know 7 or 8 out of 10 of all this, and that might be high. I know like 2, 1, right? So when you're talk out of 10, and when you're talking about it in a text message, I know more than the people that are questioning you or want to understand or joke about it. And I sometimes I'll look at the text you said, I'm like, you paid how much for a pickle rolling around in the sand? Like it just like random, like a horse rocking like a gold chain.
Yeah,
and
bro.
it just the words sound wild, right? But everything does. Technology sounds wild when you're talking about it in that time.
Literally, I have a group chat with like my buddies that like NFTs and are in this shit, and like we talk about that shit too. Like we're like, yo, we're in this group chat talking about like digital teddy bears. Like my boy was telling the story in the group chat the other day about how he was at a party and he was trying to buy these digital teddy bears, but it was when he was first starting and he couldn't figure it out, and he was like pissed. And people around him were like, yo, what's wrong? He's like, bro, if I tell you, you're not even gonna get it. Like you're gonna be like, yo, this
not even
really
worth it,
mad.
because then I gotta explain 3 other things.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So that's the thing though, man. Like, I mean, once you see like fucking Steph Curry bought a Bored Ape, he paid like $150,000 and he made it his profile picture. His profile picture is $150,000.
Iman Shumpert did that recently. I seen.
Yeah, so like they're jumping on it like late, you know, like that, and it doesn't matter when they jump on, because Steph Curry's gonna make that money back in a quarter of playing basketball, $150K, like literally, like stats. So like to him, it doesn't matter when he gets in, but just the fact that you have these athletes, these, you know, celebrities and all this shit, like getting into it and making money off of it, like it's probably not going to go anywhere. Like it's not going to be as crazy and ludicrous as it is now, but the market's there, and I think it's going to keep booming. Like more people are going to get into it.
For sure. And that's the risk you take in any investment. You know, obviously this is no different than anything else, but you know, the signs are out there that celebrities, that companies are getting into it. First, you know, Bitcoin had the same vibe, you know, Dogecoin, where it was like, it was new, hot, skeptical. Then there was polarizing news stories on either side where it's like, it's a scam. And then the other ones are like, nah, this is where the world is going. And then still kind of, there's that narrative of Bitcoin, and yet billions of dollars are in it. So not saying it's confirmed as legit, but we still have this story is yet to be written. Same thing with this is in the baby stage. So we might not have that answer for another 5-10 years. And
exactly,
you could look really, really, I don't think you'll look really, really dumb, because something like this that people of celebrity and businessmen are getting into on a world and national level, it's not a scam. It's not one of those like things you hear by that guy down the road and you buy into right away. No,
and it's not even like it's not even like they're only buying them. Like they're making their own projects. They're making their own NFTs. Like Bryce Young, I I forget what college team he plays for. My buddy sent me the NFT today. Like he's minting his own NFT. Like he got like a really good NFT artist. Like all these people are getting into the NFT game. Messi made his NFT. Marvel's getting into NFTs. Like if you're still like skeptical about this shit, like I mean,
at least
that's on you. And
yourself on it.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I
You know?
understand when I talk to people about this shit. I'm like, yo, that's dumb. Like, there's people that have this shit and they could sell it and buy a house. You know, like
Wow.
at that point, you're just like, all right, cool. You got to do what you got to do. But the thing is, too, it's like everyone that does it, like I've noticed, like on the Twitter, like everyone's pretty cool too. Like they do giveaways. They spread the money around. Like some of the people are really cool. Some of the people are fucking assholes, and they'll fucking like promote projects while they're getting paid and shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like you got to just look into it and do your own research type of shit on it.
Yeah, more people talking about it, more people having it builds up the legitimacy. So I can understand people either doing giveaways or trying to, maybe I'll take a loss here, but I'll gain in the future. That's usually at the ground level how you get bigger maybe than the rest of them. You be smart, you play the long game, especially if you believe in the product or service like this.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Should be fun.
Good, man.
Just so much information, man.
Yeah, it is, right? It hurts my brain. It makes me man, schooling, I think about all the time, like how the hell did I graduate 4 years? And it wasn't like difficult, like hard. I went to school for marketing and management. So like some of the major hard classes were like things that I could relate with, I could figure it out. But the hard ones was like algebra, like simple, like science and bio. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't fuck with algebra at all.
And I feel like when you talk NFTs, and I'm not saying it's the same thing, but like my brain automatically like shuts off. Like, oh, I want to run away, fight or flight. I want to run. Like I don't want to. You know what I mean? But it's something that's going to become more simplistic. There's going to be documentaries. There's going to be things that sometimes reading isn't people's thing. It's not for me. Right. I'm trying to get into reading. Sitting in silence, focusing for long periods of time, and trying to do things like meditation and yoga, running lately. So
nice.
Reading a book sounds like not a challenge for most people, but if you know me as a person, it's probably the hardest thing I could ever do.
Yeah, I tried.
Not read, by the way, for the listeners. I could read. It just
Ray
sitting
reads like
there
Mike Tyson.
Or Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather too.
If I could, I wouldn't be able to speak. I feel sometimes as elegant as I do. Eloquent. See, I just fucked up. But yeah, it hurts my brain. So that's why anytime you mention it, I want to listen. I want to soak it all in because there's probably information in there that I'm not even realized getting taken in and sucked in.
Yeah. Hey, yo, pause. But if you gotta read, if you have to read something, like I suggest just read it on a book. Like that's how my thinking is.
Study it like a class.
Yeah, because
okay,
dude, I tried reading like 48 Laws of Power on my laptop. No can do. Definitely not happening. Like I'll read one thing.
So
and
you
then
mean a
suddenly,
physical book?
Yeah, the actual book. Yeah, because I read like one thing and then I'm back on something else on another tab.
That's what I mean. I thought about that a couple times.
Can't concentrate, bro.
I listened to a podcast in there. Joe Rogan always is with a guest and he's suggesting books and documentaries. And I have a note in my iPhone. I have note section of just anything Joe Rogan and or his guests mention to read, look into, documentary. I write it down. It's growing every day because I listen to him all day.
That's funny. And, you said that.
Because I was thinking about doing a couple audiobooks. There's a couple that I might do audiobooks because it's more, I'll be running or doing on a bike that I want to listen to motivate me type style audiobook. But then there's some that sit down. I may need to like look at the words and reread the paragraph because it's so perplexed and all over the place that like for example the Graham Hancock blueprint what is it Blueprint of the Gods or whatever that I started to read. I'm reading each page very slowly because I want to, it's so much information, whether it's locations and degrees and words that I don't even know how to say out loud, to be honest.
Oh yeah, of course. No, and that's
but reading
that's
a physical, tangible book is important.
That's when you know you're reading something good. Like if you can't understand it, you're like, all right, this is at a level of information where like it should be good for me. But I'm glad you mentioned that too, that you have a list on your notes, because I got the same shit. I got a list of like movies I gotta watch and like
Yep.
books to read and shit. So I mean, yeah, I gotta make your list, but I think physical book is the best way to go, because
Yeah.
if you try to read
Easier
like
on the eyes.
yeah,
There's nothing. I think that nostalgia feel. Obviously, we're kind of the last generation one of the last generations in the last 5-10 years. Because 5-10 years after us, they didn't read on books anymore. Kindle was hot. Now
yeah.
your
They have
phone.
like one of
So
the
kind
what
of
was it that we were saying at your house the other day? They have the actual like tablet that it doesn't have any glare or anything on it. It actually looks like a book, the screen. What was it
is that?
like
The Fire,
yeah, the Fire
Kindle
tablet or
Fire or
something like
something.
that.
That's
Yeah.
Kelsey and Spo were talking about it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It is. It
So
is.
that's
It doesn't have like an LED. It doesn't have that bright light.
right, yeah.
It's easy on the eyes. Yeah, that's something I would only read it from. I wouldn't read it from my phone or iPad or something.
Right.
It just like you said. I just be like on my iPad reading and be like iPad. I'll get alert something that
Yeah.
I don't even have notifications for. It's like ooh, new sneakers.
Right.
Let me go look
I
at
feel
that.
like that's also like if you're gonna read a book, you gotta go somewhere like I don't know, like that's why people like go to the beach to read, or like
Yeah,
they'll go
go by the
like
pool.
somewhere yeah and
Like
read,
that.
because then there's less like things that could bother you or distract you from it. So I don't know, man. Reading is super important. Like I used to read a lot as a kid, and just
Yeah, that's
certain
good.
things in high school I derailed from it, but I got to get back on my reading shit.
For real, I want my kids to read. Like I'm gonna have them like I'm not gonna make them, because anytime you make a kid read, it's never, you know what I mean? Like
Anytime you
I
make
just
someone do anything,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna put so many books in front of them that like they have to look at it and just be curious by
right.
subconsciously. Um,
I wish
but
our
yeah,
president could read.
oh my, or even speak. I try not to touch that, man. I went to post something either on my page or the pod's page, and right before I hit send, it wasn't controversial or anything. It was more like a shout out, or not a shout out, but like something that a neutral person would post. I just like hesitated because I'm like, man,
Dude,
you
you
don't
never
know how
know
people read
nowadays.
things nowadays,
Yeah.
because I
Mm.
don't want, first of all, if I do post something on our social media, I'm representing four of us total. So
Yeah.
anything I post, I try to be like, all right, the guys would like this. I think we would all find it funny. So that's why I stay away from the politics. But if I do post something and it might, and I always, right before I hit that send, I'm just like, can this be interpreted by some idiot in the wrong way? And obviously we shouldn't care, I guess you could say, like, oh, who cares? We're just us. But I want to make sure we stay into the fun
Yeah, of course.
sports. We touch on
Yeah.
some politics and some real life news, but we're not taking either side. We might have our
Yeah,
views,
no.
but
Yeah, I'm very just I don't know. I just seen like this story unfold throughout my life and shit and whatnot, and I'm not gonna get into details, but I
yeah,
mean he's not in a great position, because like as the president, like you either like everyone's gonna praise you or everyone's gonna blame you. Like
there's no middle.
there's no way. Yeah, it's tough. So like I don't know. My heart goes out to those people that
Yeah, 13.
passed
Yeah, I had
away.
that right.
Yeah,
13. Yeah, that's it.
and that's sad, but I don't know. I'm sure there could have been a better way that could have been handled, that could have been done, that could have been completed, whatever the case may be. And it just sucks that it had to come to that, because it's not how you want to handle things. You don't want like your own people dying out there getting stranded and shit like that. And
Yeah.
like there's so much
For people
stuff.
to tweet, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but for the things that I see on Twitter or on IG, and whether you're a celebrity with a blue check mark doesn't make you more smarter than any of us. And if you're just a regular person with 4 followers, that is probably a trash human most of the time. To put out a narrative of like a president doesn't care about troops, a president,
Yeah.
it's that's when we talk about crimes, that should be, that's a crime by itself, like mentally and spiritually and all that energy to say a president
Yeah.
deliberately or whatever. That's just crazy talk.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
feel
care
like
who
he
it is,
definitely
Biden, Trump.
cares.
I would
Yeah,
never even say that about
exactly.
Trump. I would never.
Yeah, exactly. Like they
Either way,
definitely
both sides
care,
of it.
but I don't know, man. Just some of the things is not a good look sometimes, and I'm sure I do things that's not a good
For
look.
sure.
But again, I'm not the president of the United States or anywhere near. I'll never be the president of the United States. So my opinion is with a grain of salt, you know. But it's just
you weren't born here. Technically, you can't be the
right.
president.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like if it was Trump still in office and doing the same shit, like there'd be a lot more outrage, a lot more outbursts, and just because of how he was as a person, you know. But shit's nuts. Like I don't know what's gonna happen with this. There's a lot of different shit that could happen with this. So I mean, I hope and I pray that everything ends up right because it's not looking. The outlook is bleak.
Yeah, bro. That's why I say every time we bring up world news or some political stuff, I like to end it with the only thing you can control is yourself, mentally, physically, your significant other, if you have like close family and if you have kids, that's all you can control. If shit goes way left, way right, wherever it goes, make sure you're doing shit every single day to prepare for that. You know, I'm not saying build a bomb shelter and be an apocalypse person, you know, that the world's ending, but whether it's politically, whether it's climate control, whatever it is, prepare yourself mentally, physically, and get everything where, you know, you have more control over it than you may think. However you interpret that is to each his own. I think that's a pretty general statement, but I think depending on who you are, it'll hit you specifically.
Yeah.
And then obviously with shitty shit going on, Hurricane Ira demoralizes New Orleans. I seen just before we popped on 1 or 2 million people are without power. That's a lot of fucking people, bro.
That shit's nuts, man. That shit's sad. I did hear though, it was from my dad, so I don't know where he gets his news from. That
warning, I like that, like a little asterisk on it. Warning.
That the levees are the system that they have over there, like actually it did work this time, not like during Katrina where it didn't work. So, but yeah, man, that's sad, man. That whole stuff that is out there, and it sucks that they keep getting like just hit, like whether it doesn't matter if it's category 1 or whatever. Like you don't want nobody to get hit by a hurricane. Like we know how that shit is. Like
that's really something you can't control, you know, like yourself. Like if you live there, there's nothing you could physically, like I just said, mentally do to ever prepare yourself for like at 9 a.m. you're fine. By 9 p.m. your house is gone. Everything is, you know.
Yeah, because you know it's gonna happen. Like you see it all. It's not like an avalanche or like an earthquake. Like you can't prepare for that kind of stuff. At least you could prepare for a hurricane, kind of, sort of. But that's it. Like you know, your house could be gone.
You know, you mean when you know a hurricane is coming? Obviously, you don't know the category or if it's high. Oh shit, you can leave. But sometimes an avalanche or something like that, a volcano, you don't really these things just be happening naturally.
Yeah, bro. Fucking volcanoes, dog. That shit's nuts.
Bro, volcano. I think I seen in Japan area by Japan, a volcano, a new island just formed. I seen something on a legit source. I'm not gonna say like I seen somewhere, but an island was created by an underwater volcano, and that's been happening more and more. And I'm surprised none of them has ended tragically. You know, underwater volcanoes, things that tore up this earth many thousands of millions of years ago.
I want no parts of a volcano. Like I'm so good. That
a
and
volcano
like a tornado.
underwater though, that's nuts. Like you know what I mean? Like what?
Could you imagine being a fish? You're just swimming.
Yeah, right. That's like I look at that as like the ocean, just like or the world like hiccuping, and like all of a sudden it opens a little bit and just boom, liquid hot magma comes out.
Right.
So trending topics. Donda, did you listen to?
I tried listening to it. I don't know, man.
I guess.
Yeah, I put it on like when I was in the shower, and then like I went to do something else, and I stopped listening to it. I paused it. I gotta run it back for sure. Like I'll probably run it back on my flight tomorrow. Gives me just enough time. I saw a lot of different things on Twitter, just like always as something, you know, drops on Twitter. I'm just glad Kanye finally dropped some music. I gotta just definitely check it out for myself. But you know, there's Kanye stans that are gonna say, "Oh, this is his best work ever. This is so deep. This is so meaningful. This is whatever." But I don't know. that first like that intro when it was just Donda. I was like, bro, really? Like, come on, like, why'd you do this?
It's funny because when I heard it, I was actually taking a poop. Not that I need to say that, just because I wanted to give you the setting I was in. And the first 10 seconds, I was like, okay, it's going to fade into something. Then once like 15, 20 seconds hit, I was like, all right, do that 15-second skip. And then it like changed pace. And I was like, there's no way this is a minute and a half. And I was like, and then when it ended though, I go, that's a Kanye West thing to do. Like, all right, I'm hyped to listen to the album. Like like, it's like he wants to annoy you or put you on edge a little bit, or like make you feel uncomfortable sometimes, whether he does like a loud background music or, instrumentals or something. But I was like, this is the Kanye move. Like, we waited all this time and you just wanted
we waited all this time. You were hyping up the album saying it was coming out this day, then this day, then you were wearing a mask doing freaking bicep curls and
pull-ups,
whatever. Pull-ups, push-ups, cutting people's hair, and then the first song is just Donda over and over.
Donda.
It is a Kanye thing to do, bro, because he knows people are gonna listen to it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna either listen to all of it or halfway through figure it out. So either way, he got his point across. It's funny because right after that, I just typed in Donda, but I typed in Donda instead.
Donda.
So I think track number 2 helps. That at least that's a Jay-Z. No matter what age he is, like fine wine. He's got things that you hear once, you go, ooh, and you didn't even get it really the first time.
I feel like it's just his delivery. It's just his delivery, the way he says things. It's just like, oh yeah, I could fuck with that. Meanwhile, you look at it, you can't afford nothing.
My man stays living in lyrical double and triple entendres. Like a bar could mean so many things, and sometimes it means nothing, and it just rhymes.
Right.
But like you're sitting there trying to figure shit out. I only listened to that song once, but that's almost all I needed to hear to be like, all right, it was kind of worth it. I got to hear a Jay-Z verse. That's all I needed. But then I stopped after 3 or 4, and I got to get back into it. But fucking, what's his name? Soulja Boy was pissed off this week, not getting on the album.
What? Oh yeah. But so wilding. He was posting screenshots and shit. But like, so Kanye was saying that they cut like Jail Part 2 off, and then like I got screenshots that like the second half of the album you couldn't do it. He was saying a bunch of shit about Universal. So I don't know. It probably could have been just Universal. It was like, yo, we don't want Soulja Boy.
Could have been legit. Could have been legit.
So that's the thing though.
I don't think it was him saying that he was mad about not being on it, but it was the second part. More importantly, was he didn't know until he heard the album. So I understand.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how you could find out at that point. Like, Kanye not say shit. Like, I don't know. Those are the two people.
You don't know
that,
who's
like,
lying, right?
Exactly. Soulja Boy's the first person to do whatever it is, and then you got Kanye that's like whatever about
Drake.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a good track record of
I don't know, man. That shit's funny though. It's just for us to fucking click on it and look at it. That's what it is.
100%.
So, no, I gotta re-listen to the album. You have a few different listens. Like you have like that AirPod listen, you have just like the chill listen, you got the in the car listen. Like,
you're right. Music does, certain albums, of course, after you know what the vibe is, you wouldn't listen to certain albums in the headphones that you would in your car. But what I always tell people when they give Vito's famous for doing this, he'll just put in a group chat trash emoji.
Trash.
I'm like, and I'm calling him out in a good way. Well, not in a good way, but if you're going to say something's bad, trash, not good, at least say why. Just anybody can look at a piece of art or listen to music, which is relatively the same thing, and just be like, that's not good. And then walk away. Just talk about it, at least have a conversation, not just an emoji or shit's trash, or you listen to 3 songs, went on Twitter, seen 3 people talk about it, and you were like, nah, that's where I'm going with. Not saying that that's what he does. I'm just giving reference. Shout out Vito, my boy. But just talk about it. Like, talk about the music. If you didn't like it, tell me why. Like, oh, the first track was Donda Donda, and then I didn't like the lyrics because he talks about God too much. Okay, cool. I'll take that.
That's it. It's so funny you said that, because Twitter is notorious for people going on there and like, especially with Drake albums, they'll be like fire like a minute after the shit drops.
You're right. And J. Cole.
And everyone's like, yo, this shit just dropped. Like, what are you even talking about? You haven't had a chance to listen to it. Like, shut up.
You know how I know people, in my opinion, like that's why I like Kendrick Lamar. Outside of his first, even his mixtapes, but his first uh mainstream debut album was fire, one listen through. Because it was mainstream in a way, but it was still Kendrick Lamar. Like everything he gave you in a mixtape was just amplified. But then he started to go into things like Damn and To Pimp a Butterfly, which was so dynamic, many songs, so complex that anybody who has I can't wait till because Kendrick's my favorite rapper. I can't wait for that album to come out because I want to hear people react to it, and I'll know how they don't understand it if they judge it one loop in. You don't judge a Kendrick Lamar that has so much deep meaning and the way he raps, the way he uses his voice and the message he's trying to send. You don't get that on listen to a song one time while you're cleaning your sink or at work on your AirPods. You got to really listen. I had to listen to Pimp a Butterfly like 20 times before I literally had an opinion. I swear.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like I kind of just like stopped listening to Kendrick a little bit because like that was a time like when those two albums dropped, when Damn dropped and To Pimp a Butterfly dropped, like everyone was just making mumble music, So like that's what people were listening
so it did stand out. You're right.
Yeah, and no one wanted to sit down and be like, all right, let me just actually listen to it, because at that time it felt like it was a chore or whatnot. But I kind of feel like real music or like real rap music is kind of coming back a little bit. So I'm excited. I mean, Kendrick was one of my favorite rappers too, back when I was, going through end of high school and like early college. Like I had Good Kid, Mad City on repeat. Like I saw him live in Boca. That shit was sick. So I'm excited for that new album. I'm also excited for that new Drake. About time.
That album cover art, is that confirmed, or was that is he gonna do this like once? So artists get creative like him where they'll do weekly tweets and Instagram posts like similar, and then that's not the real album. So I feel like it wouldn't be the album cover.
I'm not sure. I mean, the way he did it was awesome too, like hacking Sports Center and shit. Like that was sick. Did you see it?
Nah.
So it was like Sports Center starting the show, and like it cut into like dude holding up the cardboard sign and saying like certified lover boy September 3rd, as like Sports Center was trying to do their intro and shit. It was cutting through it. Yeah, it was pretty dope. So
I'm gonna check it out.
I mean, it's about time. I mean, everyone's gonna have their Instagram captions for the rest of the calendar year, so that's what people are gonna be posting on Twitter and shit, myself included.
But to go back to Kendrick, I love the way I just love everything he does, from this is going to be his last album on Top Dog, which who knows if he goes to something major, he just stays by himself. That's irrelevant. He signed the Top Dog when signing to a label was still a thing back, 15 years ago.
Right.
And, they had the crew and everything, but even the way he posted like that old school, Windows like digitized folder, and then he posts like a message of what he's been doing, and I loved it. I read that a few times actually. He's like, sometimes I take days away from my phone. My biggest hobby right now is collecting beach cruisers. I realize, and he just goes, I'm actually gonna read it when we get off. It's so introspective, and that's kind of the vibe I've been on lately is getting to know other humans so deeply, into their mind and kind of how they think and vibe out. And Kendrick's always been like that. You don't see Kendrick going to the mall. You don't see pictures, bro. No. Literally, I've never seen a human that is as famous as him and is still mainstream, it's famous and mainstream where it's like everybody, my mom could recognize him, and there's just no pictures, there's no videos, there's no paparazzi, no TMZ. That's a beautiful thing, and that's very uncommon nowadays.
That must be such a great feeling for him too, because like,
yeah, man, he's at peace. He could actually be a better artist like that. Imagine some of our greatest artists had that type of vibe. They didn't get bothered. They could sit in their house, whatever they could do, live life, be happy, and have that clear mind to create constantly. That's why Kanye's all fucked up. Whatever he's got medically,
social media and shit.
Bro, whatever he's got going on medically, obviously it started with his mom dying, stuff like that. But then like him being in Kim Kardashian, that normal, when I say normal being famous, is gone. That's an escalated like top one of one, like 3%, you know. So it's just crazy. To finish out some music news, I seen the baby from the Nirvana album cover is suing. I think
my brother
like
told
20,
me about
30
that
years
shit.
old. Yeah, right. Like, first of all, why did it take you that many years? Second of all, damn,
well,
people are always looking for the come up, no matter what time.
So my brother was telling me that he's actually been trying to do something like amicable with them for a while now. He's just trying to get like some residuals or whatever.
Got
like,
you. Like, at least try to like hit them up. Like, yo,
trying to
break
like
me off some bread.
compromise them. Yeah, trying to compromise with them, and I guess they haven't. So he's just fed up now, and he's like, whatever. But I don't know, bro. Like, you're a baby at that point.
But what he's suing for is
for like child pornography or something, right?
Yeah, because you know, his private parts are in the album,
right?
And that's
in the album cover.
That's probably one of 3 most favorite, you know, famous and also appreciated album covers of all time.
Right.
It is a little weird if you think back. I mean, back in that day, that it wasn't that weird because album covers and were like extreme to that point or like very different. But now, if that shit, nobody would put that out now.
Yeah, no. And if he's gonna get mad at someone, he should get mad at his parents for letting someone fucking take a naked picture of him. Not
I need to hear more about this. You're right. Dude, like, I need to hear about that story of how the hell that even happened.
Yeah, because you're a baby, you don't make your own decisions. Like, who cares?
You know, maybe something frisky went on the back. Maybe he was a single mom. You know, it's the 90s. Bro. Drugs are popular. You know, maybe for a dime bag, real quick. Yeah, you can shoot.
Come on, Doug.
Just don't. Just make sure he don't drown.
I don't want to see him at the bottom of the pool.
Can I get 2 bags instead? You don't know. That could have been the conversation, literally.
I'll let you throw him in the deep end.
Right? Chasing, what is he? Chasing $1 on a fish hook or whatever. But it's like, hey, maybe his mom died or his mom lied to him and he thinks that he got put up, you know, he got played. And meanwhile, he got sold for a bag of rocks. It's a little, I know it's a little extreme, but it's possible.
It's possible. Absolutely.
It's more possible than anything he could come up with.
Facts. The lawyer's probably going to be like, yo, that's actually a good case, bro. Like, let's
awesome.
Come up with that one.
Any news on your side? Any, you know, we'll kind of wrap this up. Obviously, two-man crew right now. But I think we covered a lot of shit. You know, obviously with 4 people, I'm starting to realize, obviously we got to let each other breathe, talking over each other. We're not in the same room. It's good to do these, you know, either 3s and 2s, just to vibe out a little bit. Maybe, like I said, we always say we got to do more Instagram lives and maybe we could do some, you know, podcasts, you know, a spin-off, as they say on television, spin-off, you know, versions of maybe we do a side gig where we don't talk about sports at all and we talk about news, right? Like, or NFTs and stocks and all that. Cause I think at the end of the day, and then have people on too, that could tell us what the fuck we're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
Experts in the field, like your brother.
Right. Exactly.
Man, yeah. You know? What do you got on your end?
Nothing really with me. Just kind of same old, just flying back to Jack's tomorrow. Yeah, I'm flying. I'll take a hour-and-a-half flight over a 4-hour drive any day of the week. And I don't know, just working out. I'm gonna miss my family, so but go back to Jack's.
You gotta come back. You gotta move over here, bro. I know it's cheap to live up there, but and I don't know your personal situation too much, but you know, moving back here, you figure it out. You know, it's good to be isolated, maybe on your own. You can focus on work and what you got to do more 100%. I could see that side, but you know, down here, you know, we can make moves. Maybe I'm talking selfishly because we chill out.
I mean, trust me, I've been weighing the pros and cons out for the last few months now, and just I know I got to make a decision, but I am way different than when I was when I moved out there, so that's what I am leaning on, you know. So I'm not too worried about shit. So,
how old are you now compared to how old were you when you lived down here full time, to give a perspective?
I was 25 when I moved. I'll be 28 in November. So
bro, 3 years is a
especially like in your 20s, like in
you,
your middle 20s, like that's the
bro,
point in your life where you got to hit that switch and either like you realize what you got to do to make it, or you're just like, you know. So
above
shout out.
20, above 25, you change every fucking month, 6 months, year. Like you're a different person because
Yeah.
that's when you're using your wisdom. Sorry about that. You're using your wisdom. You know, you're experiencing more. You got more responsibilities, but also 2020 happened during this time period. You got to
Right.
really figure out some shit. You know, whether it was
Yeah.
mentally about you or the world.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's times 10 actually. That
Right.
3 years is like 5 or 6 years.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, like you said, that was good. I definitely learned a lot, and just what I gotta do, and people who are important and people who I think are important and aren't. Just it's tough, man. It's tough
Yeah.
to deal with shit in life. Like you gotta really do your
Always choose the
priorities
route
right.
that's selfish at one point. I always
Right,
tell people
yeah.
that sometimes it's like, all right, if I'm going to move or do something here, are you doing it for them because you think it's right? Then that's how you know it might not be the best situation, especially if you're young. If you don't got, if you're young, you're single, you don't got kids, all these things. It's like, I'm going to do what I want. Be selfish when you can, because there's most of your life, you ain't going to have that being selfish a card anymore. And that's what I'm learning in a good way. And I'm proud of everything I have or responsibilities I have. But, you cherish those young selfish days, my young Padawan.
Big facts. My young Padawan.
Right. Just a few shout outs. Obviously, shout out DJ Kuzma, always hits us up for ideas and little things here and there. Lawler, always be posting us, repost. Appreciate all the people that repost on Twitter and or Instagram. It's always love. We always try to respond back. I'm trying to think if where is that? Okay. Yeah, my nephew's birthday was on last Wednesday when we recorded. I had gave him a bunch of gifts.
Nice.
He was on my shirt, obviously, but birthday party was good. We did find out he turned 5, like I said last week. We did find out, was it that day? No, we actually found out Sunday or Monday that he will officially be having a sibling. That was announced to us by my sister.
Nice.
Shocked all of us for various reasons, but a blessing, obviously, and we hope everything goes well for scheduled March 2022. So we're all hoping for a girl. That boy needs a humble experience. He needs a girl, a daughter, a sister. I'm sorry. And he needs somebody to take away his attention because that boy is too wild.
Yeah, he's funny awesome. Though, bro. He's funny.
Bro, hilarious. He's nonstop. Like now that he talks.
That's how they are, bro.
He was a late bloomer too to talk. Like he didn't start talking like fully, like multiple words at a time, like till way after 3 or 3.5. And bro, these motherfuckers are smart. And I don't mean like bro. People be like, oh my cousin, my son, my daughter's smart because she can mess with the iPad. That's not intelligence, bro.
Yeah, no.
Intelligence is being able to do what my nephew could do, is tell you something, you don't want to do something, and manipulate for you to do something with just words or the expressions. And you're just like, he gets me every time. And it's not because he tries, it's because he knows if he just keeps asking you, you're going to do it eventually.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
You're going to do something for me. I'll be like, nope, no, I'm not. He goes, yes, you are. Just like that. Yes, you are. And I'm like, no, I'm not. 30 seconds later, what am I doing? Whatever he just said, bro. I'm telling you, he's, I can't even describe him. It's just like, he's a different level of human being.
Kids these days are given a lot more information that they can do.
Wow, bro. Too much information. But hey, that's the world we're going. We can't stop it. 1,000 views. We're about to get 1,000 views this week after this episode drops on YouTube. Shout out everybody that watches on YouTube. Some people watch both. Some people just listen and or watch. So, we appreciate that. 1,000 views in about, what is that? Started with episode 6, 24, 25 episodes in, whatever that number is, doesn't matter. We're just producing content, having fun. But, and then also I'm fucking balling out here with my active
on
daily
your Apple
lifestyle.
Watch. Yeah.
Closing those 3 rings.
I see you.
I said it last week, said it. I'm going to keep promoting it because you motivated me when you got back into the gym recently. Maurice, Rob, Mike, everybody going to the gym made me feel like, all right, I'm not a gym goer. I got to do something. I got time.
Yeah.
That's the most valuable thing I have in my
Right.
day. And I'm blessed to have that. I don't want to spend an hour of it going to the gym, whether it's paying for it or physically going. So riding a bike, going on a jog, going on a walk, playing basketball, whatever it is, going on a swim I've been doing. So
yeah, that's the thing, man. Like you don't
have
even
me on
have to
Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah.
And you listen to this, just DM me. We'll motivate each other every single day.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the best thing too. Like when you have motivation and people in your corner and shit like that. Not even like someone that's just like, yo, you're gonna work out or this, and that. Like when you can see like, hey, they just finished their workout. I'm like, all right, 3 people on my activity just finished a workout. I gotta go put a workout in, So that helps a lot. And then just like my brother was on my ass, like he was like, yo, you gotta do something. And you don't even have to go to the gym, like you were saying, just 30, 45 minutes, an hour getting out. Light jog, a walk, just whatever something that you can get away from whatever. I used to ride my bike all the time. I know Mike's big on riding his bike too. So yeah, that's riding a bike is one of like my favorite exercises. Like,
bro, I feel when I'm riding a bike, the way I look in the area that I live in the daytime, you see me riding a bike. Sometimes my hair's going wild, my beards look straggly. I'm just no t-shirt. Sometimes I got flip flops, I got socks on. Sometimes I just be outside and I'll just I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna ride the bike. I'll pop the garage open, take the bike, and I'm gone. And sometimes I'll probably be looking wild in the neighborhood that I'm riding in. It's so funny.
No, I used to just ride with no shirt and just go, bro. Like I just forget about shit, just listen to music. That's literally what I did for a while. So
gotta stay active. I love it.
Yeah.
That's it for me on my end. I think that's everything we covered. The only thing, Ben Simmons is out of Philly. Fuck him. He'll go to a team and he'll be pawned off, and hopefully he'll play better because he's entertaining. So hopefully he'll, really turn up for another team, just not in the East. And he'll never, win anything. Let's just say that. Yeah. And that's it on my end. Episode 30. Any last words for, this is the time that, it's just 2 people vibing out at this point. Do whatever you want.
Shit, I got nothing really. I mean, we kind of covered everything. Just
we did.
I don't know, just kind of shit that I always say. Just educate yourselves. Just put your money in the right places. Don't spend at a bottle at the wharf because you want to have fun with your friends. And just I don't know, man. Just set yourself up for the next 5 years.
We might have to have a spin-off podcast to just talking stuff, because I got so much on my mind that usually, obviously, 4 of us can't do at the same all the time. Talk about a topic and then say what we want, but always a lot on my mind that I got to get out, that I'm learning, that I think I hear from other people motivating me, and I want to kind of share it with other people, whether it's podcasts.
At least we got football back soon, so
let's fucking go. Well,
Miami plays Bama this week.
So episode 31 will be a lot of football, huh?
Yeah, college football started. Right. I was going to go to Atlanta this weekend, but no one wants to go with me, so whatever.
Oh.
Save that money. Save
cool.
that money then.
Yeah, for real, right? Investing in some horses and lizards. Episode 30. Tune in. We hope, and we'll make sure we do our best to get a full squad of the utility players back for episode 31. Appreciate you guys for listening and or watching. Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.